Ang nangyari po pagkatapos nung version ng Bicameral Conference Committee report, nagkaroon pa rin ng pagbabago in the 15th Congress. And those changes were principally the key amendments proposed by Malacanang to address concerns by the executive bureaucracy as well as the concerns raised by President Aquino at the start of his term. Una po, it adopted the inclusion of the phrase national security in exception 1, thereby providing the executive greater flexibility than the bicameral conference version which confined national security matters to defense and foreign affairs. This addresses the concerns expressed by President Aquino over the adequacy of the protection of national security matters. It adopted also, Madam Chair, a new exception on the presidential communications privilege, or more popularly referred to as the executive privilege, to address President Aquino's concern over his access to free and frank opinion and discussion with his closest advisors. To balance naman ho yung pag-expand ng exceptions with the advocates' concern over potential abuse of exceptions and criticisms of watering down of the bill, the safeguards were further strengthened, and in addition to the legal presumption in favor of access, may nilista pong additional safeguards. Kasama po dito yung ang exceptions ay kailangan ay strictly construed. Ang exceptions cannot be invoked to cover up a crime, wrongdoing, or graft or corruption. At kung maaaring i-segregate yung exempt at hindi, ay pwedeng i-disclose pa rin yung non-exempt portion. The President, Supreme Court, Senate, House may waive an exception with respect to information when they deem that there is a compelling or overriding public interest in disclosure. And finally, in the exercise of the judicial power to interpret the Constitution, the exceptions may be overcome if the requester is able to prove before a court of competent jurisdiction that there is compelling public interest or need that outweighs the interest in keeping the information secret or confidential.
Sense of a uniform, simple, and speedy procedure for access to information. That's why we need to legislate. There's no definite administrative sanctions for violations of information being withheld. And of course, we also mentioned and we all agree that the lack of transparency breeds corruption. There are certain things that we also mentioned here today that for FOI, all branches of government are explicitly covered by this, and we should provide a narrow list and clearly defined exceptions. Information on national security or planned operation against criminals or jeopardizing the foreign affairs bargaining position of our country. These are the things that we would like to provide for our committee report. Remedies in case there's a denial for information, and criminal liabilities for violation or for a denial. So for today, I would like to mention that we will have a second and final hearing on the FOI. As mentioned already, we've been deliberating on this for many years, many congresses ago, and we need to be able to fast track this. Even the Senate President has mentioned his interest to have a committee report submitted as soon as possible. So we're very encouraged by this.